And we're back with Your Money, Your Vote. I also spoke earlier today with Republican presidential candidate Fred Thompson and began by asking whether he thought there was anything wrong with Rudy Giuliani's representation, the makers of OxyContin. Let's listen.
I did not see that story. I heard about it. And I'm a long way from knowing anything about the details of it. I'm hesitant to pass judgment on it. Obviously, someone representing a client should not be held to everything that client's ever done if they didn't know about it. But on the other hand, you know, we're all subject to that kind of scrutiny nowadays and what we're involved in. So I'm sure the facts will come out as to what they are, and we'll just see then. But until then, I'm really not in a position to comment on it.
Yesterday, obviously, the tragedy out of Pakistan influenced the entire campaign debate. When I talked to Giuliani earlier today, he said that the assassination of Benazir Bhutto underscored the assets of his experience because as mayor of New York, he'd been responsible for the safety of millions of people. Do you think that that issue raises the premium on the experience that, say, John McCain or Rudy Giuliani have in foreign policy and national security?
Well, I'm not sure that Mayor Giuliani was saying that he had foreign policy experience or national security experience. He's talking about New York City, and that was an important job, and certainly he did a good job after September 11 happened. But that's a different situation altogether. John served on the Armed Services Committee for a lot of years and has vast experience, and I do too. I served on the Intelligence Committee. I was the Republican floor manager for the Homeland Security bill when it passed the United States Senate. I've had the opportunity to travel the world while I was in the Senate and meet with foreign leaders such as Musharraf and visit Pakistan and Afghanistan and to meet leaders who were friends and foes alike, and meet with our CIA personnel around the world about what was going on. So I think there is a difference between those who have dealt with national issues and questions of national security than those who have not. And I think that's the distinction.
Senator, a lot of talk about the Republican Party in disarray at the moment. You've got Huckabee having captured a lot of support from conservative Christians. Mitt Romney's now emphasizing his business background. McCain and Giuliani talk more about security-related issues, 9/11, the Iraq War. What do you see as your distinctive niche in this Republican race?
I am the strong, consistent conservative who has a proven track record in that respect, in cutting taxes, balancing the budget, passing welfare reform. I assisted, obviously, in all those endeavors as a member of Congress, fighting for conservative judges with a 100% pro-life voting record, and also someone who concentrated on issues of national security. I just mentioned my background with regard to national security issues. And frankly, I would put my record up against anybody with regard to all those issues that I think of concern to Americans and certainly of concerns to Republicans in this primary season.
Senator, let's talk about the economy. A lot of signs that the economy is slowing down, maybe even entering a recession. Do you expect a recession in 2008? Do you think we're in one now? And what would you do about it?
Well, we're clearly not in one now, and I'm not going to predict one. I think that sometimes we're almost in a position of talking ourselves into one. Our rate of growth slows down somewhat, and everybody gets very concerned. I understand that, but we need to put it in a broader context and understand that we've had a remarkable period of growth over the last 6 years, and it's a period of time in which you usually have a downturn or a recession in that period of time, one or two, and we've not had that. So decreasing the rate of growth and our job growth numbers not increasing as fast as maybe they have in times past is not the sign that the world's coming to an end or that our economy is going to tank, or even that it's going to be a recession. The experts are, of course, as usual, divided on that subject. Nobody knows the answer to it. But I think we need to not do foolish things in response to those kind of concerns. And remember that sound fiscal policies, including low taxes and less regulation, and restraint on spending is still going to be the underlying factors with regard to our economic health in the future, and we just need to concentrate on doing those things right.
Senator, do you regard the Bush-Paulson plan to get lenders on a voluntary basis to freeze interest rates for homeowners who could face foreclosure? Was that a smart thing to do? And do you see a case for doing any more, perhaps cash assistance to homeowners who may face foreclosure?
No, I think that what they're doing probably strikes the right balance. We need to understand what has happened, and that is looser standards and more money was chasing higher home prices. And it kept going up, and the money kept going up, and prices kept going up and back and forth until it stopped. And that's what happens with regard to a bubble. It stops, and the situation starts reversing itself. Now, there undoubtedly were some innocent people caught in the middle of all of this, but I think it's important that we not do things that reward lenders and people who made wrong market decisions that would create an even bigger bubble in the future. So I think a voluntary system where people who are not delinquent, people who are good citizens and have done their best, a voluntary system whereby we would turn foreclosures into a way for them to work themselves out of the situation is a good thing to do, where none of the big lenders have a market advantage in a situation like that. And I think it's the right kind of approach. But I don't think that I would go wholesale and do things that would bail out people who have made bad economic decisions. It would just induce worse decisions and more of them in the future and bigger bubbles in the future.
Senator, thanks so much for joining us today. Travel safe on the trail.
Thank you very much.